available. Hey guys, and welcome back to my awkward and random kitchen, where today I'm going to be a little bit more awkward than usual because I'm totally geeking out. Backstory. Jill Connor Brown is the creator of and the boss queen of the Sweet Potato Queens. It's a totally awesome group that raises money for children's hospitals, and they also have a lot of fun. And I'm in a chapter in Florence. So I follow her on Facebook, and she made a post about how she never realized that she would grow up to be Garfield, not liking Mondays and eating food and stuff like that. And then I reposted it because she's my boss queen, and I was like, I absolutely am that person too. And then she commented on my repost. Do you understand what that means? Jill Connor Brown, one of my personal heroes. She talked directly to me. And I was very excited, so I fangirled a response that yes, I absolutely can make lasagna, and I will make a video and dedicate it to you. So, in dedication to Jill Connor Brown, and actually, wait a minute, I'm going to do this for Her Royal Highness. I have to have a crown. This is actually the crown that my aunt gave me when I had a reason to read the Sweet Potato Queen's Guide to Divorce. And I'm wearing it with pride right now because I am making lasagna for Jill Connor Brown in the way that my mother taught me how to make it. My mountain woman mama taught me how to make this lasagna. And then I'm also going to make an addition that my brother makes to his from how our mother taught us how to make it. So I'm so excited. I'm bringing to you today, Jill Connor Brown. This one's for you, just especially for you. I hope you watch it. I'm going to tag you. I'm so excited. I'm bringing you lasagna. This is my first step, washing the pot I'm going to make the noodles in, because I'm not the greatest of housekeepers, and I realized that the pot I wanted to make my noodles in was dirty. So, washing a pot. I've got water in my pot, and I'm going to set it, and I've set it to get ready to boil. I'm just going to pour in some salt because, you know, this is when you can flavor your noodles. I don't like a ton of salt, but, you know, a little salt on your noodles is good. And speaking of flavor, I'm going to add, this is just a me thing. I'm going to add some of this pollo seasoning because it's salty and flavorful and makes things taste delicious. It's probably 2 tablespoons. Now I have a pound of beef in my skillet here. I'm just going to turn it on medium high, break it up a little bit, let it brown. My water's about to start boiling. That's exciting. And I'm going to go let the dogs in because Hiram's scratching at the door. And I'd rather let him in when he scratches than him to get tired of waiting on me and then jump the fence. Cause now that my meat's browning up and ooh, look at that water boiling. It's time for noodles. I'm going to tell you a little story about when I was crowned my own self. See, when I started out in the Sweet Potato Queens, unless you're like one of the founding members or the boss queen of a Sweet Potato Queen group, you are what they call a wannabe. And so I went to my first Queens convention as a wannabe. And don't get me lying, I have no idea what year that was. I really wanted to be a queen. And do you know what the queens in my group did for me? They made it so that at the pajama party, which is one of the big events at the convention, I was brought up on stage and crowned by Lance Romance, his very own self. I was thrilled. Lance Romance is a spud stud. You gotta read the first book. You gotta read Sweet Potato Queen's Guide to Love. It's just Book of Love. Just read all of them, actually. You know, they're just all great. So my noodles are cooking. My meat is a browning. In a minute, I'm going to drain this meat. I don't need all that extra fat. My meat is now mostly brown. There's still some pink in there, and that's okay. Because we're gonna put it in the oven. Which, go ahead and preheat your oven to 350. So it's okay that it's a little bit pink still. Just put that in there. Garfield and Jill Connor Brown are both going to be happy about this. You know, I loved Garfield as a kid. That was my favorite cartoon. Every time the book fair would come in, I'd buy the Garfield books. I just loved it. Okay. I'm going to drain the meat. Oh, and the noodles. The noodles we're going to let boil for about 7 minutes. And these are not the oven-ready noodles. These are like the noodle noodles. I'm going to let them do their thing for about 7 minutes. And also, I'm going to try the wooden spoon trick. I don't know if it works. We're going to try and see. Be sure to... fan. You can't hear me with the fan. See, it's loud. Be sure to stir your noodles so they don't stick together. That's no good. After 7 minutes, we're going to check them. We might have to go as long as 10, but we're going to start with 7. Here we go. A tub of Italian. Here we go. A tub of ricotta cheese. Great googly moogly. A tub of ricotta cheese. Seriously, ricotta cheese? Hey, baby girl. There's an opal dog coming. An egg. I just mangled that egg all to pieces. Okay, I'm going to scramble it anyway. And Italian seasoning. That feels good. I mean, I'm not measuring. Just, you know, I want it to feel right. In my heart. I want it to feel right here. And stir it. Kind of satisfying. Okay. Wash my hands. Put it in the bathroom because I'm using the sink right now. It's Halloween. I got my cauldron. It's a bubbling. It's a brewing. They're limber-ish. We're gonna give it. Yeah, they're limber-ish. I'm not quite satisfied with that, so we're gonna give it 2 more minutes. Can you see through the fog that I have my drink meat back in my pan? I'm just gonna put about a half a jar of sauce in it, because that's just about what's left in this jar. Okay. And oh, the oven's ready. We're not, but the oven is. That's a good sign. I'm gonna put this on medium heat. So let those flavors get real acquainted. Swap howdies and all. That's something we say in Tennessee, swap howdies. Oh, the noodles. Let's check them. Oh yeah. Oh, that's good. Okay. Turn this off. Okay. I have sprayed my non-stick pan. I mean, it is non-stick, but there's no reason to not help it out a little bit. And I'm just going to leave the noodles sitting in the water, and I'm going to grab tongs. And these are not the actual tongs that I grew up with, but these are the kind of tongs that my mom used to pull lasagna noodles out of the pot of water. So it's the one, I mean, like if I make lasagna, then I have to use tongs like this, when other ones probably would work better. But, you know, I'm following in tradition here. So just going to layer up the noodles. And also, normally I would use a long pan, but this one was like more convenient. So we're just setting the noodles in there. I'm going to make a layer of ricotta mixed with egg and Italian seasoning. If you wanted to leave the ricotta out, you totally could. I usually do, actually, but I am making this in honor of Her Royal Highness Jill Connor Brown. So I'm going to make it especially, this is not the first time I made it this way, but this is the especially special way. And also, since I'm paying homage to my mama, I reckon I could pay homage to my brother too. Since this lasagna is actually his specialty. Like, that's the thing that he's like, what did I do? Oh, that he's like, come over to the house. I'll make lasagna. I'm like, I'm there. This on the first layer. Ooh. Ooh. Noodles, ricotta, sauce. Oh, I was about to do something very foolish. Mozzarella. Right here. Mozzarella. Ooh. Gotta get our stringy bits going on. Just gonna kind of tuck that down in there. Get in there, noodle. Get in there, noodle. If you leave a noodle exposed, it'll get real crusty and you won't want to eat it. Get in there. Talk to your food. If you're not talking to your food, are you even cooking? Oven. Now, if I didn't have the ricotta and egg mixture, I would say in the oven for 30 minutes, just to, make sure everything gets well acquainted. Like the sauce and the meat earlier, but like now, it's like a group date instead of just like a single date. So we're going to let everything get really well acquainted and melted up, but because there's egg, I'm going to give it an actual 45 minutes. Then we're going to pull it out and we're going to let it set for 20. Sorry, I'm wobbly now. That was Opal. She kicked the stand. We're going to give the whole thing 20 minutes to rest afterwards. The alarm's gone off, and yes, I've changed clothes because it's been 45 minutes and I don't want to be in Sunday clothes all day long. Where is my asparagus? So I'm going to now pull out. Oh my goodness. Oh gracious. Oh, praise God. Okay, hang on. Whew, that is the sound of success and victory. Just take a gander at this beautiful lasagna. Oh. Let me tell you, the smell is so crusty and but it's bubbling around like in the little. So I cannot wait, but I will wait for 15 to 20 minutes. Because when you bake egg, you need to let it rest once it comes out of the heat source for at least 15 minutes, even 20. It's not going to hurt it. It's not going to make you get sick or anything. You have to have that wait time so that the egg sets. So good. Okay, Jill Connor Brown and
I'm so excited. I can't even talk clearly.
Whoever else is watching.
Please watch.
Oh, I love it. It is time. It has rested. And it is time to get into this here lasagna.
This one's for you.
Oh, yep. Okay. And just a little bit there. Yep. And some here. Do you hear that crunch? Hi, Opal. Let's get into it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Oh, okay.
That. Actually, let me just look at it. Look at the layers. It's still steaming. It's still hot. The having it rest for 15 minutes did not hurt it. And actually, it rested for more like 20. So here we go. Oh my goodness. Hey, Noodle. You want to live with those guys? Okay. Here we go. Whee! Okay. We're now going to try it. All right. Here we go. Get in there. Get some noodle, get some meat, get some cheese. Look. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. You didn't get to see the stringy part. Let's. Do you see that? Do you see that stringy cheese? Do you see the ricotta? Do you see the sauce? Do you see the noodles? Do you see the meat? Do you see heaven on a plate? Yep, you sure. Well, in a bowl, sure do. Mmm. This is a. I'm gonna eat it all. Mmm. Mm. Mm. Yep. There you go. So, you know what? May not like people, may not like Mondays. I may just want to sleep all the time. But